Hi, my name's David Eastwood. I've been invited to speak about my work for 628.net, and I haven't planned what I'm going to say, but I'm just going to ramble and stop at some point. The exhibition's called Decoy Decor. Decor is a French term which not only means the interior decoration of a room, but it's also related to the stage scenery of a theatrical setup. And I do think of the paintings and drawings in this show as very much staged. The interiors are not real places. They're totally constructed, but they're composite images based on multiple references. Some of the things come from historical interiors in museums in Europe. Some of the objects are props in my studio, and others are found images, patterns from certain films and so forth. The largest work just here, this is called Pink Frost. Pink Frost is actually the title of a song by the Chills, a song from the 1980s with a peculiar narrative that's sort of half dream, half waking state, and there's an odd liminal zone which exists within the narrative of the song, which I think suited the painting here.
It's pretty stunning.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's the most prominent thing in the room, I suppose, is that big pink bed, which is where the composition started. I put the bed in and then figured out what everything else in the room would be, piece by piece. So I don't have a grand plan of what the space is going to look like. It's constructed in a piecemeal fashion, and that's the way I like to work. I paint these works pretty much to figure out what the space is going to be. It's a way of kind of discovering the space. I enjoy the process of discovery as I make these things, and I'm often surprised by the way everything fits together in the end. There's a pile of detritus in the background. This is a motif I've used from time to time in a few works now. It's actually the pile of junk which was left behind in Francis Bacon's studio in London, and in the late 90s the entire contents of the studio were documented by archaeologists and transferred to a museum in Dublin and reconstructed as accurately as possible, including sweeping up the dust in the studio and tipping it over the objects in the museum. And I liked the peculiar sense of, trying to establish with accuracy and authenticity exactly how this space was, and reconstructing it in this sort of fetishistic way, but at the same time it's totally art directed, totally artificial, and just very strange. So that peculiar relationship between artifice and authenticity is something I enjoy.
I remember seeing some earlier works of yours with the same backgrounds.
Yeah, that pile of stuff was more prominent in an earlier painting called Bacon Dust, which was in the last show. And by using recurring motifs from work to work, you know, occasionally I'll use the same pattern, or over here there's a couple of works which utilise the same fireplace, but I've changed the carpet and the wallpaper. And by using recurring motifs, I think that interchangeability adds to the sense of a very staged or artificial space. Some of the spaces are more clearly defined with a back wall, and then there's other spaces that just recede into shadow.
Yeah, you do a fantastic receding. Well done.
Cheers. I might leave it at that. You can have a look around.
Thank you, David.